Got to go with it. Is Latifah in here? Latifah.
Nope.
Oh, she ain't in there.
Need Fresno.
Girl, Fresno don't come to none of these classes no more. She doing her own thing.
Wow.
Seen her in a long time. She log in, don't be here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. I guess I'm on. All right. Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our last class for tonight. You know, I know weekends, we have several classes for you. I hope you guys are benefiting. And also, before I start the class, I want to remind everybody, please support this Dawah effort. We are always in need, especially now because it's the first of the month. I haven't checked our account, and I'm not going to because I don't need the stress of it. Please support this Dawah effort. Send in your donations to help pay for this nonprofit organization. At least you guys know where your money going. Your money is going on the programs that we run here. Also the PowerPoints that I do, the servers I'm using. And you guys see we're here every day, rain, shine, or snow, every day, Eid or not, you know, to teach you Islam in its truthfulness with the understanding of the companions. And this is hard to get nowadays. You got a lot of speakers on the internet, but the majority of them are calling you to something other than Islam and its truthfulness with the understanding of those companions. So please support us. And for tonight's class, this is our class on marriage in Islam. We'll be continuing with the book, The Sacred Bonds of Marriage by Brother Daryl Abdullah Kirk, one of my students. Yesterday, we spoke about some of the characteristics that the Muslim husband, the Muslim father should have, which I really wish you sisters would pay, that there would be more sisters here to learn this. Because every Q&A I have every Friday, I get these sisters, you know, who make the biggest mistakes of their lives, jumping up, marrying men who were not examined or investigated by their guardians as they should have been. And they end up in these bad situations that they find it hard to get out of. You know, certain characteristics we should look for in a man. One of them is he should be a person, a man of courage. Who can tell us how important is courage? Why is a man having courage so important as a husband? Why is it important for me to assure that whatever man I am marrying is a man of courage? Can anyone answer that? Go ahead. Start off with Anissa, then Mina. Go ahead.
A man of courage is brave. This person will stand up for what is right. He won't back down. He will instigate new things as he needs to keep his family safe. In other words, he's a person who's able to be positive and hear the sides of both people or more than one people. He's able to do things and not be afraid to do so. And he's got a law on his side and he knows it.
Okay, those are some reasons why it's important to choose a man who has courage to be your husband and future father of your kids. Mina, what are some more reasons as to why it's important to seek out the characteristic of courage when choosing a mate?
Well, I was kind of saying some of the same things, that you need to make sure that the person is faces challenges, because for one, if you got a weak husband, he doesn't have courage. If something happened to you or your kids or something, I mean, who's going to stand up for it? And then also the ones that take risks, because as far as them, they the ones that have to provide and maintain. So even if they have to take 2 or 3 jobs or whatever to take care of their family, that's what they would do.
Exactly. The husband is the leader. He's the leader of the household. You know, as Muslims, we don't appoint kafirs as our leaders and rulers. We're not supposed to. But this is something that Muslims are doing today. And that's another reason why Allah has sent all this punishment to us. Okay? But for those of us who believe in Allah, we abide by Allah's laws and commands. And, you know, your husband is your leader, your ruler. It takes courage to rule. It takes courage to lead. You have to know when to hold and know when to fold. You got to be able to stand up against society's norms, not cave in to society's norms like many of the men today are doing, allowing their wives and daughters to not dress properly, okay? Or allowing their daughters and sons to go to Kafir schools and stuff because they want them to blend in, to be a part of society and all that crap. It takes courage to be a Muslim. It takes courage to be a leader. And that's what you need. And that's a characteristic that is needed in a man. Well, today we're going to speak about another characteristic, leadership. Even though your husband, he's supposed to be your leader. Just because he's a husband doesn't mean that he's a leader. Leaders are born. Some are made. The best leaders are those that are born leaders. But you can make a person a leader too. And let's talk about it. So let's put the PowerPoint. Moving all this Zoom out the way. Get out the way, Zoom. Wait a minute. I'm trying to move this Zoom box. Okay. Now let's go. Oh, now I can't see this. Oh, let's see. I didn't click the button because I'm trying to move the Zoom. Give me a second, guys. Go back. So we're going to be covering pages 137 through 142, chapter 23, which is a large chapter. This chapter is larger than yesterday's, so I'm going to split this chapter into half. Some of his chapters are short, some are long. This one is long, so we're going to cover just pages 137 through 142. Because we want to speak about why leadership is the key for a successful husband and father. And again, leadership is a crucial aspect of being a husband and a father. And, you know, we talked about why. Because as Muslim men, your role as leaders within your family goes beyond just mere responsibility. It goes beyond just providing and maintaining. It also encompasses the duty of being compassionate, and effective leaders. Okay? Remember, many of us are living in societies that are non-Muslim, and living in a non-Muslim society, the societies are set up to go against our ideology, our way of life. For example, living here in America, American society contradicts Islamic morals, Islamic values, and our Islamic identity. So a good leader, you know, he has to be strong and able to keep you strong and firm upon the path of Allah, and keep you strong, whereas you don't give in to societal norms, society pressures. Okay? So you have to be a good leader. And that's why I'm telling you, sisters, instead of jumping up and down, getting married so quick, let your guardian investigate the man's background, okay? Because we live in America, and our way of life is so different that America doesn't view a man as being the leader of his home. America views a woman and man as being equal. We're equal entities. A woman can rule just like a man. So we have to be careful to make sure that when you do get married, you're marrying a man who knows what his job is. And he's not one of those Americanized men that think that it's a partnership of equality. Okay? Because the term patriarch takes on a total different meaning here in America. Initially, this term referred to the male being the head of the household. The male as being a person of authority who is responsible for protecting the household. But that meaning has changed here in America. Also in Islam, it goes a little deeper than that. In Islam, being a patriarch extends beyond just head of the family, but also to having qualities of respect, responsibility, and honor. Okay? You have to be a person who embodies the values and teachings of Islam. And the role of the patriarch is not limited to just exercising authority or making decisions. It also includes being a source of guidance for your family members. You're supposed to be a guide for your wife, a guide to your children. They should be able to come to you seeking wisdom. They're supposed to come to you for support when they're going through a rough time. Also, a true patriarch is expected to lead by example. So you should demonstrate integrity, compassion, justice, and fairness to your family members. So as you can see in Islam, the concept of patriarchy, is important, because it involves fulfilling the rights and responsibilities that Allah has given you first and foremost, and then giving every family member his and her just due with love, kindness, and justice. So it's important for us to be careful who we choose to be our leader in life. Because that's what you're choosing when you get married, sisters. You're choosing a man who's going to be your leader in life. And that responsibility shouldn't be just given to anyone. And the teachings of the Quran and the Hadith provide guidance on how to be a true leader in Islam. And these teachings emphasize fulfilling the rights not only of your wife, but also the rights of your children, the rights of your in-laws, the rights of your family, your mother, your sisters, your brothers, and all of that too. It also stresses the need for humility, patience, and balance when doing so. You're going to have to be able to satisfy your mother, because again, as a Muslim man, you still have obligations to your mother. Your time as a Muslim man, your mother is more deserving of your time than your wife is. But your wife is more deserving of your money. So you're going to have to be able to balance between the two. You're going to have to be able to divide your time with your wife and children and mother fairly and justly, and understand when to say no. Okay? And the Quran teaches you how to do that. The authentic hadiths teach you how. And we have many examples from the companions as to how to fulfill that. So it's going to entail you as a Muslim man seeking knowledge of your religion, the correct knowledge. It's going to also entail you seeking wisdom and understanding so you can fulfill your obligations. And it's not just a one-time thing. You're going to have to spend all your life seeking the correct knowledge and understanding of this deen, because that way you can guide your family members in matters of faith, morality, and personal development. And that includes your parents too. So the term patriarch in Islam expands beyond the simple definition of being the male head of household. Instead, it goes deeper than that. You are a leader. You are a ruler of your domain. Does every brother here understand that? And so now I'm going to speak about the importance of male leadership. Effective male leadership within the family is crucial, especially for the development not only of your wife spiritually, because remember, it's your job to lead your wife to paradise, but also it's important for the children, because you also have to lead them to paradise too. As the head of the family, you have to ignite their fitra, the fitra within their hearts, and set them on the right path, okay? And you're raising children in a society that totally contradicts Islamic norms, Islamic morals, okay? So you're gonna have a healthy relationship with your wives first and foremost, and then with your children, because the wives take care of the kids. If the children see that you're abusing their mother, they're not going to respect you. They're not going to listen to you. They're not going to attach to you like they should. You know, so you have to, first of all, have a good relationship with your wives and let your children see that. And then work on the healthy relationship with them. And again, the Quran and the Hadiths are the blueprint for how to do that. As we talked about yesterday, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the best amongst you are those who are best good to your wives and children, and I am better than all of you. The Prophet Muhammad had more wives than anyone, and he was good to every wife. And he had many stepchildren, and he was good to all of them. So we have to stick to the teachings of Islam and not allow society, the society we live in, to impact that. Because the society we live in America is filled with a lack of male leadership. The history of America is filthy. Women and men were brought to this country against their will. And the family was stripped of the patriarch, okay, because that's the way America wanted it, okay? So we have to prioritize our roles as fathers and husbands as defined by Allah, and not succumb to societies, okay? And again, guys, and we talked yesterday about the importance of having open communication within the family. How can you know how to protect someone? How can you know how to support someone if you don't know what's going on with them? So as the head of the family, the leader of the family, the ruler of the family, you have to have an intimate relationship with everyone in your family. And each one should feel special. Each one should feel unique. You got children, every child should feel loved, special, and unique. Your wives should feel loved, special, and unique. You have to strengthen the faith of your family members. You have to make sure that they spend their time learning this religion correctly. Monitor that with them. Also teach them their religion. Pray with them at home. That's why the prophet encouraged Muslim men. He said, you get more rewards praying your voluntary prayers at home. Perform your voluntary prayers at home with the kids and your wives, and then perform the obligatory ones at the mosque. Okay? As a Muslim man, you have to lead by example. You have to be seen. You don't want to be that man that's never around, just a phone call here and there. No, you have to lead by example. And there are 3 key factors to leaderships. Number 1, as husbands and fathers, it's your responsibility to establish a clear and meaningful vision for your families. And this vision serves as a guiding light to ensure that your family has a purpose and a direction to strive for. First of all, they should know that they were created to worship Allah, but also set goals as a family. We're going to set goals, that you finish school and then you go to college and you become a doctor or whatever. We're going to set goals that you're going to grow closer to Allah this way, that by doing this, by doing that. So you have to set goals for your family members. And again, a communication. You have to listen to your family members, empathize with their needs and desires and wishes, and articulate your vision in a way that they can understand. And also make sure the family is structured. A well-functioning family requires structure, systems, and discipline. You don't want your children to play upon the system, to say, oh, because in this society, you can't discipline me. You can't discipline me. Oh, yes, I can. And it's best to use the discipline that our prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used. One of the things the prophet used to do with the children, ignore. No child likes to be ignored. And that's one of the best ways to discipline a child. A child does something wrong, you let him or her know that we're not going to speak to you. Everyone is going to ignore you until you apologize or until you make right what you did wrong. That way they can't call 911 on you. And that way the children will be quick to turn back to the truth, because no child likes to be ignored. So those are just some of the things that you can do as a Muslim man to try to become a good leader within your family. You want to set goals. You want to have structure within a house, have rules within the home, have a schedule for the children, and also even with the wife. Make sure you spend time with the wives. The wives take care of the home. The wives, take care of the children, but the wives need some wife time too. So you're going to have to learn to structure that, just time for you and her without the kids. So leadership. You sisters, instead of jumping up and down, getting married to these loser men, they come a dime a dozen. Y'all better let your guardians investigate their backgrounds to see if they are men deserving of you, if they have good leadership skills, if they have the courage to take you on and protect you and provide for you and maintain you as Allah commands. All right, I'm going to stop right here. Are there any questions or comments? I get this question every time. I knew it was going to come. I think we had it yesterday. Again, it is the job of the man to provide and maintain. It is not your job as a Muslim woman. As Muslim women, we do not have to work. No man can make you work. No man can tell you that you got to get up and go outside the house and find a job. If he tells you that, then you tell him, I tell you what, assalamu alaikum, we getting divorced, because that's not my job. That's your job to work. If he has to get 2 or 3 jobs, that's his job. You are not the provider of the family. You are not the maintainer of the family. You are not the protector of the family. That's him. So no, your husband cannot make you go out and get a job. Is that clear? Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Another question. Any other questions while she's typing her next one? Okay, this sister here is saying, what if you didn't know this stuff and you got married and you realized the man ain't doing what he's supposed to do? It's real simple. Either he can change and start doing what he's supposed to do, and if he refuses, then divorce is good and clean. Yeah, I wouldn't just jump up and divorce him. I would sit down and have a talk with him. You know, I'd have a talk with him. I'd have a talk with your local imam sit down and talk with him too, and let him understand what his role is and what your rights are, and tell him that he needs to change. If he doesn't change and start fulfilling his obligations, then that means that it's lawful for you to seek a khula against him, a divorce against him. But try to sit down with him and work it out, because just like you didn't know this stuff, maybe he didn't know either. Water seeks his own level. So just like you didn't know your rights and your role, he probably didn't know his either. So give a man a chance to make it right. Give him a chance to become a man, rather than just kick him to the curb. All right. All right. Any other questions or comments? Okay, I'm going to log out for tonight. Just want to remind everybody that don't forget we have classes tomorrow. We have my 6:30 class and we have my 9 o'clock. The 9 o'clock, I'm going to change it from 9:30 to 9 o'clock. Since, yeah, I'll change my 9:30 class since it's not summer anymore. And the time, you don't have to worry about prayer because all prayers are done by 6:30. I'll put the class back to 9 Eastern, so that way you guys don't have to be all up late. Is that better for everybody? Yeah, I figured you like that. All right, guys, I'm going to log out. Inshallah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.